Welcome to Vista Mall, Alabang. We're here.
Our tour guide says we're here na in Vista, Alabang.
Here we are in Vegas.
Oh,
What?
I don't know. I didn't press it. Again. Hi.
Oh, hi. Here we are again in Vegas. It only took us a half an hour to get here from Manila. It feels exactly like Vegas. I'll just throw some money in the toilet and it'll be exactly like Vegas, just wasting money. It has a very Vegas feel. Let's go see what we can play with.
What did you say?
I said what we can play with, not who.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Everybody knows what we're talking about. We're not talking about bad stuff.
We're talking about dancing.
Dancing, yes, there's lots of.
Look down. Oh, okay.
Wow, looks like a mall.
Looks
Hi,
like
how are you?
Let's look around. Lala.
But yeah, because it's the hate of rich people, maybe. Yeah, that was stupid. I mean, I didn't see any point of that part of the story. I mean, it didn't make any sense. They were seeing him as a hero for killing 3 guys on a train. He did a really bad job of explaining why that was seen as a good thing.
It wasn't a good thing.
That's what people were saying. They were happy for the clown. They called him a vigilante. Vigilantes stop crime. They're non-cops, non-law officials who stop crime. That's a vigilante. Why was he a vigilante? What crime was he stopping?
Nothing.
Exactly. That's why it was stupid. So that whole reason for their rioting had no basis.
Yes, stupidity.
Well, I mean, they tried to make us believe it was because people were seeing a goodness in it. Why? Because they were rich guys. They were picking on a girl. Nobody said anything about that part. But how would they know unless the girl said something? But even if they did, so he killed 3 guys for picking on a girl. That's nobody would see that as a good thing.
So that is what we came here for. They said this is the first in Southeast Asia. You should take a photo here. Yeah, that's better, right? This is the first in Southeast Asia IMAX with laser cinema here at Vista Mall. Hello, toilet. You look so lonely there. You look lonely. Hi, Earthling.
Hello. We are here in IMAX. Why are we here at this IMAX?
This is IMAX Via.
Right.
Vista Mall, Las Pinas. And we are here because this is the
First theater in South Asia, Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia
With
laser.
Laser projection.
Laser technology.
High quality image
Yeah.
in a big theater. It's huge.
Huge. See? Huge.
So yeah, we're in the 4th row and we have a pretty good view. I don't think it's too close.
Yeah, it's a good seat. We like to be close to the.
And look at this. At the seat. Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa, and it's gonna be in 3D because we're gonna have glasses.
Stuck in my shoe.
Anyway, we'll be watching. What are we watching?
Gemini Man.
Gemini Man, and
That's why we dress the same.
yeah, we're twinning. Twinning. Okay, there later. Bye bye. This is there popcorn and drinks. IMAX with
It's a world of difference.
what's the world of there's Vista.
There's
Vista Cinema. There. Okay. Laser technology. I don't know. What's the difference? Hi. Sorry, we're home.
We just watched the Gemini Man on Laser IMAX. And let's not talk about the movie. But the Laser IMAX was, I don't know if I want to call it incredible. It was a noticeable difference.
Yeah, the image is so crisp. It's so like very detailed.
Right. So they shot this in 4K and at 120 frames a second. Now, normal video for a movie is 24 frames a second. So this was 5.5 times faster, more frames in a second. So what that means is normally when you take a picture and you stitch them all together, 24 in a second, you get this motion blur usually in each photo. So when your hand moves, there's a little bit of blur. And it kind of stitches everything together. But when you do 120 frames a second, every frame is pretty crisp and clear. And our brain can stitch those together as well without the blur. So it had a different feel and different look. And to me, it looked like when you go to the TV store and they're showing you those 4K images, and it's just, motorcycles driving through a city, kind of shots, or, lots of umbrellas and stuff. It just had that very crisp, clean feel to it. And to me, it made some things look fake. Well, not look fake. You could actually see that, that wasn't real gunfire. The sparks coming off of the gun were very clear. It wasn't the normal fire and smoke. It was just kind of like sparks, and the way that bullets hit things in cars, you could tell that they were digital almost. So it was a different feel. She made a comment that it was like
a National Geographic video or something.
Like a documentary.
Documentary.
So, like when you watch the Earth documentary from National Geographic, they shot all that in 4K, so that it would be very crisp and clear, and you could see all the colors on the birds and things like that.
The color is different. It's not the usual.
No, it wasn't what we would call cinematic. When for years we've been having the debate over back in 2005, 2006 when Red camera came out. They went from film to digital, and everyone was saying, "Oh, digital doesn't have the soul that film does." Because film it's got this grain and this look. So everybody's been trying to copy that to get the cinematic look using these digital cameras. And now I think they're starting to get away from that, and it's just the new cinematic look is more like a digital look. And this is even just another step further into that crisp clearness and the very real feel. I mean, these images were up close, personal. You could see pores and all the imperfections, and makeup artists have got to hate this because they've got to be very precise in their makeups. And it could have been, a lot of it had to do with the way it was shot, what the director did. A lot of them were long takes. It was very real. It was very documentary feel. Even in the fight sequences, it just felt fake, even though it was more real.
Yeah,
if that makes sense, it looked more like an MMA fight, but so it wasn't as dramatic as they do when they do a movie fight.
Yeah, it's like a game. What's that? A computer game?
Yeah, video game.
Video game, yeah, video game. Sorry, I don't play games. Yeah, and oops. Yeah, oh, sorry. There's a scene that two of them was.
Hit the wrong button. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, there was a scene when the girl and Will was like doing this gun shooting everyone. It felt like
It was a fight shooting battle, and it did feel a little bit like a video game. I think video games getting closer to
it feels like
cinematic.
A video game.
But yeah, it was very clear. It wasn't a lot. Even the lighting wasn't done very what we would call cinematic. Again, it was a very flat. Even though it was a 3D movie, which was great because it did look real. I mean, the opening sequence is this train station, and you know, if I'd have closed my eyes and opened them, I would have felt like I was standing next to this train. I mean, it just looked that real, and in the 3D helped tremendously, where it just felt like you were there, and in the, you know, of course it was a huge IMAX screen, so you know we felt immersed in it, but just the feel of it was just too real for me to be. It made me feel, maybe because I was paying attention too much, I don't know, but it made me feel like the acting was kind of not as good, because it felt like I could tell they were acting. You know, maybe it was just bad music choices. Maybe it just felt too real and it wasn't enough like a movie to me. You know, my brain just didn't process it the right way.
Maybe because the images is so perfect, or I think that the acting and even the story felt flat.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we can blame this. There was too crisp and clear, so the story sucked. We're not supposed to talk about Gemini, man.
We're not talking.
It just, yeah, to me, it just didn't seem fantastical enough. It seemed too real. You know.
Anyway, if you want to try to see laser IMAX laser movie, then go to so far Vista Mall in Las Pinas.
It's definitely, if you're a fan of movies, of cinema, of the technology and the great sound, you definitely should do it, because it's a different experience. And I think the way they shot Gemini Man is not going to be like every other experience there. I think that one in itself is different. So maybe don't judge what that laser is like based on Gemini Man, but it's definitely something to try out. If you want the most real 3D feel that you're going to get, I think that's as close as we've got so far.
Yeah, I think maybe that's why they picked that cinema for that premiere, because they use different technology for Gemini Man. So yeah.
So definitely an experience, and you know, if they come out with another movie that they're going to show there that, you know, was shot with using high-end equipment, I'll go see it.
Maybe Harry Potter would be nice to watch in there later.
You know, some of the special effects they would just stood out as different. You could just notice them more. You know, glass shatters and light sparks and water droplets. There was one particularly slow motion water thing that it was just everybody just kind of noticed. And that's the problem, when you're noticing these things that you shouldn't be noticing. That's not a good thing, I don't think. So
really.
So it should have been something that was cool, but not something everybody was like, hey.
That's true. Detail.
There's something weird about that.
Very
So even some of the bullet holes, of course I was trying to pay attention to see them. When, you know, they're running and bullet holes are in the windshield of, you know, of a car they're running by, it just seemed fake. Maybe they were fake. I mean, almost definitely they were digitally done. And it just, because of the realism, maybe they stood out as fake. Maybe I don't know. But anyway, if you know, like that kind of stuff, you should definitely go see that.
Go to the IMAX
laser.
Pew 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 pew. There.